Finally, Population 1 from Big Box VR is out October 22nd, 2020, and it's here to try and take the Battle Royale throne in VR. You're in a squad of 3 in an 18-player match where Square closes in on you. The last team to survive wins. It's a very standard gameplay loop. It's worked elsewhere, and it works in VR too. So far, I've got about 20 hours during the playtest, and I love a ton about this game. I do have some dislikes, and I want to get those out of the way first because they're not huge. First one for me, the index controllers, the gun angle on them is not ideal. I would really like to see the ability to change the gun angle, and I hope to see that shortly after release. Right now, it just kind of is slight annoyance. I do a lot of hip fire because of it, but that's it. Second, I'm not a big fan of how all the guns feel. I end up using the AKM or the UMP because I'm not a big fan of the way that the other ones shoot, but that's personal preference, and I seem to be in the minority on that because I don't hear a lot of that. I do not like the sniper scope at all. I do not like face covering sniper scopes that take up the whole screen. It just really takes you out of the game. It doesn't feel like it, so I don't even pick up the snipers at all. Last one is just a little bit of a pet peeve, but I don't like the idea of the hip-fire crosshair that they give you. It's really nice having a crosshair like that when you're trying to mark things for your team, but I'm not a fan of seeing it when I'm aiming my weapon, even though I use it because it's part of the game. But this game seems to be trying to bring in a larger audience, not just trying to compete with the hardcore Pavlov and Onward guys. It's looking to bring in new blood, and it looks like it's doing good from the people I've seen in the playtest. Obviously, I gotta point out the things that I do love about this game, and there's a lot, but the first one I'm gonna talk about is the fluidity. The game feels fantastic, switching from flying to climbing to falling to pulling and putting away your gun. It took a bit to get used to, but once you start getting used to it, you feel like a bit of an action hero. Climbing mechanic works great. It's not the best implementation I've ever seen, but it never gets in my way. Slowly sneaking up the side of a building to poke your gun around into a window just to drop someone feels great. Scaling up a tower just before your fight, also great feeling before you fall down in there. Oh, he's over here, guys. This game, for me at least, is also a little bit of a workout. I'm a big dude and my arms kill after playing this. Population Arm Day is what it should be called. I end up windmilling my arm around to make it up some of these games' towers, but the payoff is all there once you start to fly down in a battle, guns blazing. The flight is also very simply implemented and works. You raise your arms and you glide, simple as that. And it gets mixed into combat really nicely. Reloading mid-air is also a great little thing to learn how to do. It feels great falling for a moment while you're reloading only to catch yourself and continue firing. The gameplay loop is great. You have your drops, you have your zone shrinking, your third parties. If you're into battle royales, you already know what's there. There's also the building mechanic, which I personally didn't use too much. I was never into the Fortnite building when I played the game, but a lot of the players that I run into, they use it to its full extent, making me waste all my ammo as they just keep throwing up walls. What I do like the building mechanic for is when you start getting pinned in the later areas. You're definitely in a bad position. Having a couple walls that can grow up feels great. The building mechanic is intuitive. You empty your hand real quick with a button press and you can immediately start pulling your trigger and building your walls. Your materials are all over the map, so they're not hard to find, and the smart players will definitely be getting into that. At $30, I think this game is more than worth it, but I do have to understand and know that it completely relies on other people playing the game for it to work. Right now, we have a history of VR where not every game is Onward and Pavlov. The player counts quickly die and then no one plays the game, but this game's on everything except for the PlayStation VR, crossplay and cross-buy, so hopefully this one is the one that sticks. I'm going to be looking forward to playing it. I don't really want to give this game a score, but I am going to give this game a big recommendation, and I hope that I see you in there. If you guys like hearing reviews from me, do feel free to let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, doesn't matter. Either way, thanks for stopping in.